Does anyone really care about movie theaters anymore? I'd like to know. I like to know. Because I'm being real when I say this. Yeah. Um I'm being real when I'm saying this. Does anyone really care? I mean, granted, probably the directors and actors care because money reasons, because they get a slightly of a paycheck on these movies when they go out to the theater. And that's why they're all bitching, whining, complaining, and don't like the fact that, oh, yeah, you get this amount of money, and meanwhile, we get a shitload of money in the revenue and fucking everything else. Uh, I'm being real. I'm just going to say this. I don't think anyone really gives a shit. Because if they did, um, there would be people not on board. There would be people like Sony or Disney or Warner Brothers not putting their movies in streaming service. I'm starting to say this, but I'm starting to what's that word? I'm starting to see the death of filmmaking on the theater aspect. Oh yeah, yeah. I was just about to mention that. I'm not dying for in a full theater of irritating people. Yeah, that's true, buddy. That's true. That's true. But I'm starting to think like, does it really matter? I mean, and I started to see what people bitching, whining, complaining about this, and I'm just like, you're just bitching about the paycheck. You just want that fucking paycheck, and that's really it. And no one really cares about that. I mean, granted, people like me or you or whatever care for the actors' well-being, and they kind of got fucked over. But yet again, you kind of look at the circumstances of what we have. I'm like, would you blame the whole studio on releasing these movies? I mean, just how it goes. But I mean, it's official now that Sony is releasing their films, and they're just gonna basically say, "Fuck theaters, we're done, and we're just gonna go do streaming service." It's more benefit. It's benefit for us going forward, and yeah, no one's gonna risk their lives, like you said, for idiots. And I'm being real. I'm saying this. I have to agree. But yet again, it is a lose-lose situation. It is. And for better or for worse, I just personally feel like it's just going to be more of a common thing. I don't think movie theaters are ever going to come back to what they were. I still care about movie theaters. I get that. Yeah, I get that. I can't. I can barely breathe on my shit. When I have a mask on, I have to have my nose sticking out. Like I can't fucking literally I can't have a mask on when I'm watching a fucking movie. I mean, fuck that shit. I like to have my own little. Granted, I barely go to the movie theaters in general. I mean, the last time I went to the movie theaters, ooh, was 2013. I went to see Thor: The Dark World. That was like my last time. Actually, no, I take that back. No, there was one more time I did went to the theater. I went to see Batman vs Superman, the edited piece of shit fucking version. And it's just I watched that, and granted, that was my last time going to theaters. I didn't go see Broly, even though I wanted to. I didn't get to see Alita Battle Angel, even though I wanted to. It's just money and time and all that stuff. And granted, I agree with you, buddy. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand, but it's just like, nah, no way, man. I'm just like, no one's gonna risk their lives for a movie theater. Not until there is a point where the new variation of COVID is gone, and to a point where I'm like, okay, people are going to go see the movie theaters, and you're going to see these movies get back what it used to be. But yet again, who knows? It could still be there, and it could get into another variation of a COVID, and movie theaters could go out of business, and you have the birth fully of the streaming service. Sit your fat ass down and pretty much enjoy your fucking movie. I'm sorry, I hate to say that, but I really do. But I mean, it's just, we'll have to wait and see how things go. But I mean, I had to do my thoughts on the recent Sony news that Sony's cutting all ties with yours truly movie theaters. And I'm just like, holy cow, I didn't think they would do it. But they do, and I'm grateful they did it because, they kind of look at it like, let's look at it at our benefit. I mean, there's no way in hell these movies are going to do that well. Look at Black Widow, bombed. Suicide Squad, bombed. Shang-Chi's probably going to do the same. Doom, the book series that based on the same name, part 1 is probably going to bomb and not get its part 2, which makes me kind of even wonder, will we ever get that one of the, will we get a 4-part trilogy, whatever you want to call it, a prequel, not a prequel, a trilogy, whatever you want to call it, because it's based on a lot of book series, and they're doing TV show, they're doing all this stuff, and I was hoping maybe that could somewhat survive, but I don't even know if that. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? COVID will never leave because people don't want to. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, you're not alone on that one. Yeah. I agree. You're not wrong. Man. You're not wrong. I totally agree. I mean, that's going to be another thing that we have, and it's just, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I just had to do my thoughts on it anyway. I'd just like to know from you guys' thoughts before I head out. And speaking about something, anyone saw the fucking recent gameplay footage on Black Panther? Oh, shit, babe. Destroying. Yeah, I could agree. But yet again, I'm still hyped for the future. I mean, I just hope that the actors keep going what they usually do, and the rest is history from there. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a bit. I'm just like trying to say the right words just to kind of say how I feel about this recent news that just dropped about 20 minutes ago. And recasting on what? On what? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm a little lost on that one. I'm totally lost what you're trying to say. But anyway, like I said, any thoughts on you guys on Black Panther coming out later in 2 days? Or should I say tomorrow, because it comes out in the UK tomorrow. So there's that. So yeah. They're not going to do that. I mean, if they're going to, it would be voice. It would be animation, which honestly, I mean, like, that's a wholly different ball game. They don't need to return. It would be nice, but yet again, they don't need to. They've done enough. I mean, voice animation's totally like, it's fine. They can get an imitator, and going forward, people are complaining about who gives a shit? They don't understand jack shit about voice acting. I'm gonna say this. If they understood voice acting, they would hate the business. And that's just how it is. Voice acting, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're good, I could find someone else that's better than you. That just says a lot. And plus, another thing, which is going down even further, you don't know how much these actors want for a paycheck. That's another thing. They see it as a fan. They don't look at it as like, okay, what about a business standpoint? This stuff. Oh, people love to complain. Yeah, people love to complain almost every little thing. Tevye, Tevye loves to do that. Sorry, Tevye. Um, but yet again, I do it too. But yet, I don't like to doing it. I don't like to. When I do it, it's like I really have no enjoyment unless it's something I hate so much that I sheer pleasure on doing it. Like Ridley Scott, I will hate him for whatever he does because he made me look like an idiot trusting him. That's a hatred that I will never let go. That's a hatred towards, and that's the thing. When you trust someone, and this is why I looked at a lot of people and like, do you really want these guys going forward with Star Wars? Makes no sense. Anyway, multiverse better than. Oh yeah, I could agree. And multiverse can pretty much solve your issues. You could smash a different Iron Man, and that's another thing too. I even have like in my own like future Marvel universe to where you have a different Iron Man, you have a different Hulk, which personally I would like to have Maestro to be in the future Marvel universe. I would like to have Jane Foster and Beta Ray Bill be the new Thors. Of course, I would love to see Sophie be as the new Loki, or just have Loki and Sophie pretty much be married and have a life together. I'm sorry, I love Sophie and Loki together. They're so good. I'm sorry. I'm such in love on that couple. I'm like, that couple is so good. I wish that shit was. I'm gonna say this right now. I wish Sophie was canon in the Marvel comics. They combined the whole Enchantress and the female Loki aspect, and they make it into something new and interesting. I'm like, I love this girl. She's cool. She's sassy. She's fun. She's lovable, but she's so cool and so much like Loki. And I'm like, dude, she is perfect for you. I'll say this: she's better than Jane Foster. Oh shit! I love it. I absolutely love her. I really cannot wait to see the future. I mean, this is something I'm hoping where I'm like, I really hope that she comes in later on and kind of reasons to Loki on what she did, and hopefully Loki can forgive her, which I think he will. And the two of them pretty much will go in a happy family, and you have that moment between Thor and Jane Foster and Loki and Sophie together, and it was all cool. They got all the family together. That shit would just be fucking great. I mean, man, that was. They will make a canon in the. Oh, dude, they better. I swear to God, they better. I'm gonna say this right now. They need to make that shit to where, and that's another thing too. They need to make it where it makes sense. But yet again, they could just literally just copy and paste on the whole multiverse aspect, because I wouldn't be surprised they do like another Secret Wars and have Kang the Conqueror be the main villain, and Sophie's one of them, and you could have that tie into where Sophie and yours truly, Loki, meet up, and you can go forward with that. And you can have where Kang was hunting her down, killed everything about her family, and the rest is history from there. But I mean, I just really, really love it a lot, and just absolutely love it. Hopefully, hey Red, do you like Sophie and Loki together? Really good. Oh, dude, hell yeah. Definitely. You mean Sophie was easily mistaken? You're not the only one saying. Oh, so you mean yeah? I mean Sophie. Yeah, that's her name, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You mean like easily like one? No, one's who says her name. Oh, yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, I really like her a lot, and I just feel like, Sophie is just she's a really cool character. But anyway, kind of going the whole back to the situation on movies. I mean, it sucks. I mean, it sucks, and I also kind of feel like with the whole oh yeah, I know, dude. I'll say this: the moment where in that finale, that fucking 5 minutes of the ending of that last episode, I'm just like, oh, you just totally saying now. You're just saying now. You're just saying it. You're just fucking saying it. You love this girl. I mean, you love this girl, and you openly admit it, and you just got crushed by her because she pretty much didn't want to lose the one thing that she wanted to achieve her goal. And, granted, people say, oh, she's still in the whole early years of the MCU Loki where he's filled with anger and hatred. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But I mean, yet again, I feel like that's going to turn around just like Loki did in the past other Marvel movies. And, granted, I'm going to say this right now, I wouldn't be surprised for the future Marvel movies and Star Wars and future Disney movies that they're going to be on Hulu. They're going to be on Disney Plus, and probably you're going to have the new Disney editor give the big ass fat check towards. And that's another thing too. They have to do that. Same thing with Warner Brothers. Same thing with Sony. Same thing with um, every Paramount. Just all these different movie theaters. I would not be surprised if they just straight out just give the directors and actors of a big ass paycheck just to not have them uh, get sued. Granted, I mean, you know, Scarlett Johansson, she kind of, she's not the only one that kind of suing Disney, but yet again, Emma Stone was going to sue Disney, but yet again, they probably we'll give you a big ass paycheck. She got pretty much sold out. Money talks, buddy. Um, and also, she probably realizes. I know. And did you hear? Yeah, I know. I mean, they're gonna do another. They're gonna do another sequel for that. For that movie. I mean, personally, I'm looking forward to it. I really like that movie this year. Personally, it was a really fun fashion movie. They kind of hinted the whole uh the whole factor of she was a dog animal abuser, but yet again they never really fully tap into it. And I don't think they're gonna do that shit again. It's more like gonna be fashion type setting. I wouldn't be surprised that's gonna be the case. But yet again, we'll have to wait and see. They made her into a character that's very much a fashion type aspect, not an animal abuser. Which, to be fair, that's the right direction, because when I look at that whole Canola character in the Dalmatians, she's not a good person, and that's the problem. To where I'm like, they establish she's an okay person. Yeah, she's got cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but yet again, there's some humanity aspect on her. Maybe it's just the aspect of Emma Stone's such a good actress, and I am hoping Sony literally gives her a Spider-Gwen film, and I would so just lose it if that happened. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I just had to talk about this, and it was good talking about the whole thing. And granted, we'll have to wait and see how things go forward on movie theaters. And yeah, it was also good talking to you guys about Loki as well. And I wouldn't be surprised Loki and what's that word? I wouldn't be surprised Loki and Sophie get back together in season 2. And yeah. Anyway, but I'll just say this: for movie theaters, it's dead. I will say this: it's dead. No one's going to go to the theater. Only very few people. Now, granted, I'm a little surprised on the whole aspect of live concerts or live attendance, like wrestling or a football show or a basketball show, literally full of people right there. And I'm like, whoa, literally, damn, that's a massive full house. It's a full house. Surprise, people are not getting COVID. I mean, hopefully they kind of like got to take a shot before you go in. I mean, that's what I'm a little hoping on that because I don't want to see that. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, we got a little infection spreading. I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, like, it is what it is. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I think personally for me, that's a big surprising factor. But yet again, movie theaters are not doing well. A lot of things are just really like you're seeing the death of the theater aspect. It's going to be a very small degree of theaters. I wouldn't be surprised if the future theater aspect is going to be smaller than anything else. I will not be surprised the movie theater around my area goes out of business and pretty much you're just going to be stuck at home watching movies at your Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, fucking whatever. And, you know, the streaming aspect. And that's another thing, too. I talked to a lot of my friends about this. Streaming is going to be the next big thing. There's going to be one day where you see fully of the death of theaters. And they say, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's going to be years for that to happen. I don't know. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Movie theaters are always going to be there. Movie theaters are always going to be there. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah, they'll be there in a small events like fucking plays. Used to be a common thing back in the old days. You had plays and theaters aspect going forward. You had all this shit in a daily basis. And yet again, it is what it is. Oh, yeah, and I agree with you, Ren. I agree. This is why I personally really, they need to learn. And that's another thing, too. I'm like, I'm literally looking at the Disney editor-chief, and I'm like, wait. You did not realize that would not backfire on you? Granted, it kind of backfire on Warner Brothers, so it's also a little bit of like, oh boy, could it same thing happen towards Disney? I don't know. Their animated Pixar film didn't have that, and it's just what's her face? The director of Wonder Woman. Shit, I forgot her name. You know what I'm talking about, Ren. Patty Jenkins, I think I was saying her name right. Patty Jenkins. If I'm saying her name right, please comment, say yes. But it's just, she went out of her way to shit on Warner Brothers, to pretty much hating on the fact that, oh yeah, your movie is going to be on theaters, but it's going to be also on HBO Max. And she hated the fucking factor of she's probably not going to get enough money that really that she's not going to get enough money out of the cut of the film. And she hated it. She was exposing Warner Brothers for the assholes they are. And I'm like, it's funny. The same thing happened is going on with Scarlett Johansson. And I'm just like, Disney really should have looked at their the other studio that they're rivaling on superhero movies, and they should have realized, yeah, okay, if we're gonna release this movie, not only we gotta pay these actors, but we gotta split the profit in multiple ways, and that's where everything falls into. And Granted, I mean, this is the whole aspect of let's hope the studios pay the actors and actresses and the directors for these films and not just like leave them to die. That's another thing too. That's bad business. Even though their movies bombed at the theater, but dominated in the streaming aspect. So it's like, well, what do you judge? And that's another thing too. It's like, what do you judge? The streaming aspect? Or do you look at the theater aspect now? It's kind of opening another door of what does well on a streaming platform and what does do now on the theaters. And it's kind of like you're both asking two different voice. One's paying for money, the other's paying for a streaming aspect on a service. You get what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, Wonder Man. Set for permit. What? Wonder Man? No. Can you retitle that? Are you talking about Wonder Woman? Yeah. I agree. That's going to be a very interesting topic because I mean, like, it's going to be about the pandemic. It's probably going to be that sorcery type character, which, whatever. I mean, and that's another thing too. I mean, like, I heard they're going to have Wonder Woman deal with the Wonder Girl situation as well, because she and that's another thing too. Are they going to add the original Wonder Woman that played the character, because she's playing another character in the ending of Wonder Woman 84, and that's another aspect where that could be interesting, even though I'm not really looking forward to it because the last one was trash. Why should I be looking forward to this fucking movie? It's just not really looking good, man. It's just not looking good. I mean, like, damn, this sucks. I mean, this really sucks. If you ask me, I really would be very happy if they just ended on a note where I'm like, okay, we got the movies that we wanted to do. Let's straight out reboot them. Or hell, if you want to have Zach just absolutely do that third movie, that would have been better. I don't like what's going on with Wonder Woman. I think what they're doing with Wonder Woman is just absolutely trash. Dude, I know. But yet again, I could say the same thing with Flash, too. Same thing with a lot of these films, except for Shazam, The Batman, Suicide Squad, just whatever James Gunn wants to do next. I mean, like, granted, I mean, like, if it's not a nostalgia brand, like Wonder Woman 84, I mean, Patty Jenkins was all over in that last movie of Wonder Woman. She wanted to do that movie. Maybe not the villain aspect. I'm sure there was another villain that she wanted to do that pretty much was rejected by Warner Brothers, and that was really it. But it's just, I look at it like this. I mean, Wonder Woman should have their own main priority of, okay, if we're going to have this direction, we better do it in a interesting direction that's go forward. That's interesting. That's really worth reading. And I'm hoping for Dragon Ball Super. Ren, do you think we'll get a Dragon Ball Super Series 2? I really want it to have that shit. I don't want to have the last thing we'll get is the movies, because we're getting a sequel to Dragon Ball Super, and I'm just like, I really hope this is not the only time we'll ever get a new content besides the manga, and that's really it. I really hope that's not the case, because if that's the case, oh boy, God help me. Because I'm just not going to be too thrilled. I'm going to be very, a little pissed off, a little angry, a little upset. I mean, like, the rest is history from there. I mean, I really want uh, these fucking. I want Dragon Ball Super to come back on its anime counterpart. I don't want to deal with Toyotaro's manga. It's bad enough that he's already exposed what he is doing with the whole. I don't think we'll get one. I think they're gonna focus on movies. Ah, fuck. I really hope not, because if that's the case, we're fucking done. I mean, it's just really we're done. I mean, because I mean, it's just like there's so many fucking mistakes, and yet again, we could have expanded upon a lot of the things in the moral saga. We could have stretched on the movies, and fuck me, just seriously. Son of a bitch. Anyway, I get what you're saying. It's not your fault, but I mean, it is what it is. Let's just hope we get proven wrong. That's just all I'm gonna say. Because I mean, like, if we don't get an animated series by next year, oh, I am going to lose it. That's just all I'm gonna say. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how things go. Spider-Man's definitely going to be a very interesting direction. How was it? Her apparently. Well, I'm not watching that movie. Fuck that. Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. That piece of son of a bitch pretty much ruined every bit of what was going on. Granted, the actor himself kind of stole the show in a lot of degrees. I felt like he was one of the few good things about that film, but I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this shit up. It was good talking to you guys. I'm gonna go play Marvel's Avengers and get ready for Black Panther and everything else. Did you see Black Panther's gameplay? Fuck me, he's going to be a broken character. Shit, I'm already excited. I'm like, damn, his move set is just fucking crazy. There's an ability to where he activates a shockwave, and it pretty much stuns his enemies. And I'm like, oh shit! You gear that up for. If you upgrade that up to such a degree, he is going to be a broken character to play. I mean, there's so much to a point where you could truly have that. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how things goes. I'm hoping what's happening. Oh, dude! Apparently Sony is pretty much saying fuck movie theaters. We're gonna fucking go straight away to streaming service for now. Which I'm like, well, that just kind of tells me that, yeah, movie theaters are done. They're done. They're really done. And also, I was talking about a little bit of Loki as well. But I mean, just I'll just say this: they're done. You'll never have theater. I'm not. Oh yeah. Broken how, dude? Okay. His move sets on Black Panther is such crazy to where, okay, if you have your enemies and you pretty much activate this shock factor, it will stun your enemies. Therefore, it will make you pretty much be unstoppable to defeat your opponent. And I will not be surprised if that officially happens when you go forward to upgrade your character on Black Panther. And it's just overall is fucking amazing. I mean, and also another thing too, I mean, I'm very happy that Marvel's Avengers is getting the attention that it truly deserves. Hopefully later this year, Spider-Man comes in, and we know it's probably going to be its own carnation, even though I would fucking love, and I'll be grateful that they officially canon the Marvel the Marvel. I was about to say MCU, the whole Marvel, yours truly, Spider-Man game, the Marvel PS4 game that came out a couple of years ago. I really want that to connect to Marvel's Avengers, but it probably won't happen. And also another thing too, you would have to explain a lot of shit from that. Where was Spider-Man during this time period? What the hell is he? I mean, how far back is his DLC if it was canon. That's another thing. It would raise a lot of questions, which is fine. I mean, I just feel like it could have been a lot more interesting if you ask me. But I mean, um, but yeah, I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna do my thing and pretty much play Marvel's Avengers. And it was good talking to you guys on movie theaters and Loki. And I really just love Sophie and Loki together. And oh yeah, that's I saw about that. I saw about that. I'm gonna say this right now. If Ben Affleck gets erased, yeah, you're gonna have controversial. But yeah, we'll see about that. I guarantee you, if it does, oh boy, I'm looking forward to that. Comedy gold, comedy. I'll do my video on it. And granted, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. I just want it to be a good movie. I did shit on it at first when the whole news, like, oh, it's gonna erase Justice League and the edited version of Batman vs Superman. But yet again, I look at it and I'm thinking, does it really matter? No, not really. Does anyone give a shit? No, not really. In fact, it would be a little bit embrace and a little bit grateful that we kind of had that direction. But yet again, I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really care. I just want a good movie, and I just hope that it goes forward and we have new movies and we have new directions. And yeah, it is what it is. Let's just hope it goes forward and they do something really good on it and they eat a lot of people's words, because people like me are not really caring too much about it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Stay tuned for more videos and see you guys in the next streaming service or streaming video. Correct myself. What the fuck, man.